Your paladin heard the plan. The party was going to poison the thing waiting for them ahead. He was standing right there. He said nothing. And you, the DM, let it slide. Distracted him for a few rounds, looked the other way. Gary has a very specific problem with that. Page 23 of the DMG. All right, you guys, this is DM and Friends. I am DM Angelo, and Gary wrote the manual, and I run it. So last video, we established alignment as the cosmic force, not a personality quiz. Actions. It's proven by behavior, not declared at creation. Today, we get practical because proving it is a mechanic, and Gary put the enforcement duty on exactly one person at the table, you as the DM. So, DMG, page 23. Here's the line that I think that most tables never read out loud, right? So he says, you, as Dungeon Master, must establish the meanings and boundaries of law and order, as opposed to chaos and anarchy, as well as the divisions between right and good, as opposed to hurtful and evil. DMG, page 23. Not the players, not a wiki, not a forum thread. You, DM. Alignment only works as a mechanic if somebody actually is running it. Gary picked you for the job. You, as the DM. I'll say it again. So this is the part almost nobody runs. Gary called it a graphing alignment. So on the same page, 23, DMG, he says that actions do speak far more eloquently than professions. And he says that, and each activity of the player character should reflect his or her alignment. Such drift should be noted by you, and when it takes the individual into a new alignment area, you should then inform the player that his or her character has changed alignment. Read that again. Not a snap judgment. Drift, not a gotcha. A slow accumulation of choices that eventually crosses the line. And it's your job to notice when it does. A lawful evil character that he keeps being helpful, keeps respecting the little guy. He's drifting toward good, whether he means to or not. Well, Gary wrote that example himself. So, in the enforcement mandate here. Now, here's where Gary stops suggesting and starts requiring us as DMs. He says it is of utmost importance to keep rigid control of alignment behavior with respect to such characters as serve deities who will accept only certain alignments. Those who are paladins, those who are with evil familiars, and so on. Therefore, failure to demand strict adherence to alignment behavior is to allow a game abuse, right? Game abuse. That's Gary's phrase, not mine. If you let a paladin skate on his code because the player's, fun matters more than the rule that week, that's not kindness. That's exactly what he's warning you against. So let's go back to my first example here, the paladin and the poison, right? And here's the example that Gary actually wrote, word for word. Same page, DMG, page 23. He says, if, for example, a party that includes a paladin decides to use poison on a monster that they know is ahead, the DM shouldn't let the paladin be distracted or led away for a few rounds when it is patently obvious that the paladin heard the plan. The DM should warn the paladin that his lack of action will constitute a voluntary alignment change, and then let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may. Well, that's the 1999 rule book telling you directly not to protect your players from the consequences of their own alignment. You know, in the Harmlet Dark game, we had a lawful neutral, Paladin of St. Cuthbert. This was a lion paladin, but still strict by that code. Do a chaotic act. Well, I had Cuthbert strip him right there of all of his powers because he led away from the lawful neutral alignment there. So I've done it at the table, and I've seen paladins lose their paladinhood over it. You know, it's not only the paladin. You know, it's across the board for other alignments. Now, obviously, it's a lot more detrimental for a paladin to lose his, and they're on a stricter code. But you know, it's something that you should enforce as a DM. So, you know. Let's talk about alignment language, which I don't really like using in my game, but we have to talk about it as a mechanic because it is in the DMG, right? Well, and this mechanic is skipped constantly, included by me, a raw AD&D player. Well, alignment language, right? Alignment language are a specific set of signs, signals, gestures, and words which intelligent creatures use to inform other intelligent creatures the same alignment of their fellowship and common ethos. Well, alignment languages are never flaunted in public. DMG, page 23. Like I said, I personally don't use it, but think of it as less as like a secret language and more of a recognition system. You know, a thin, limited, social risky, you know, and socially risky to use in public. It's kind of hard for me to swallow, but it is in the DMG. You know, Gary built in a real cost of showing your hand. So I'd love to hear in the comments who actually uses alignment language. So here's a supplementary piece that I want to bring up, even though it's not in the core books. This is a Dragon magazine article that builds on what Gary talked about and wrote in the DMG. It's not in the rule book, but it's worth knowing. You know, Roger Moore's article, it's not easy being good. I think a lot of us have read this, and that ran in Dragon Magazine 51, July 1981, I believe, and it dug into the exactly this problem. You know, the Paladin's code is brutal to play correctly, and most tables don't. You know, Roger Moore's whole point was that the restriction is the class. Take away the enforcement and you just got a fighter with a better title. That's a Dragon Magazine writer in 1981 backing up the exact page that we just read. So here's the mechanic plainly, right? Alignment isn't self-reported. It isn't a vibe. It's tracked. It drifts. And when it crosses the line, you as a DM are required, not encouraged, required to call it. This isn't about punishing anybody or catching catching them at the moment, right? It's about running the game the way it was actually written, right? And let the chips fall where they may. That was right in the DMG where it was put on there. So, next Monday. Thank you guys, by the way. This alignment arc is going to come out every single Monday of this month of August. But next Monday, we are going to go into the Player's Handbook. Okay? The Player's Handbook, this bad boy right here, for all 9 alignments in Gary Gygax's word. So you and your players are both working from the same 9 definitions, not 9 vibes. 9 vibes. All right. If you've been letting alignment slide at your table because, enforcing it felt awkward, you're not alone. But it was never supposed to be optional. Gary put that job on you for a reason. Drop a comment. What's the alignment call that you've been avoiding making at the table? Let's talk about it. All right, you guys, I am DM Angelo. Keep gaming. Take care of each other. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the hype button, and hit that notification button if you want to catch every video. All right, you guys, take care. Bye-bye.